Hello guys, hello dear colleagues, hello again. We are back with our interviews. Today we have a very special guest for us, a lady from Paris, France, Svetlana Bekerman. We are waiting for her to join. Alright, so I'm adding Svetlana. Okay.
Hi,
Hello! Hello Svetlana, how are you?
great, you?
As well. Very happy to see you, because I was just gonna tell our audience, our dear colleagues, that Svetlana is a special guest for us because she is one of the absolutely unique teachers who are applying Montessori method in English, first of all. And this is the topic of our interview: bring the best of Montessori method into the English language teaching. Right, Svetlana?
Yes, absolutely. Thanks for your invitation.
That's our pleasure. Thank you for accepting it. So, Svetlana, I will just say a little bit about you. Svetlana has approximately 10 years of experience as a teacher. She has PhD from St. Petersburg, and she has also graduated Montessori course. She has the Montessori diploma from Canada. Am I
Yeah,
right?
that's right. That's right. Absolutely.
Svetlana, of course, the first question which comes up immediately, could you please tell us about your experience with the Montessori method in Canada, why you decided to follow these, and what is exactly the PhD you have from St. Petersburg? What is your career?
Okay, well, thank you. So, to be honest, my PhD is not connected to teaching young learners or children. My PhD was about public speaking and teaching communicative strategies and tactics to adults. Well, but first, when I arrived to Paris, I was writing my thesis in collaboration with university in Paris. So I decided to stay in Paris, and I found my husband here. So I had to find a job, first of all, here, and it was quite difficult because I'm not native speaker, and well, I need to, even if you have, a degree, sometimes it's not enough for employers. So the first school I applied here was Montessori school. Even though I didn't know absolutely anything about Montessori, I was taken on. So I was happy, but the next step was to learn out as much as possible about the method, because of course I didn't know how to work with it. And can you imagine my surprise when I entered to the classroom? I don't know anything.
And
Well,
you
I
were
know
asked
how
to
to
teach
teach.
immediately
Yeah,
without having any knowledge.
I know how to teach English, but I don't know how to use material. Okay, so there are no textbooks, no notebooks, so you have to deal with it, and 25 kids, at the same time. So, well, the first year I spent on learning, reading, seeking for information. And then I said, no, you have to have a real good qualification of Montessori method, how to implement it in English teaching. So I decided to apply on the course in Canada. I was accepted, and after 1 year of studying, I finally got my diploma and could continue working at the same school. But that time our school became a center of preparation teachers. So I was also invited to teach teachers and parents how to implement English, how to implement Montessori in English. Yeah, and I traveled in Paris, in France, in different cities, in different schools, and got acquainted with famous French Montessori tutors, whom honestly speaking, had not asked themselves a question. Yes, that's true. Why do we need to implement, Montessori in second language learning? But it was nice experience to know their knowledge, also to share ideas. Yeah, so this year in April, I decided to, to create an online school for teachers and parents where I teach them how to use Montessori method in teaching English. And it's quite successful because I have teachers and I tutor Montessori schools in different parts of the world. Right now, and they text me and saying, Svetlana, it works, thanks.
Oh my God, it is so impressive, So I will have questions like one by one. The
Okay.
first one which comes to my mind, Svetlana, I believe that our audience, our dear colleagues, they are aware, of course, about the main principles of Montessori method and the main idea, right? So more or less. But could you please highlight the advantages of this method which you appreciate the most? So you say, like, this is the best method because?
Well, what I'm going probably to name is not connected to Montessori method, but I use it, and it is total immersion. So I speak with my students only English, even though I understand French, and even though they sometimes do not know how to react, but I use, English always. The thing that probably the most important thing that we need to take when we talk about bringing, right, Montessori into our classroom is the understanding that Montessori method is a student-based approach. It's never teacher-based approach. And I would say that was the milestone in my career, because having graduated from a classical pedagogical university, I had to, swap my mind and realize that now it's not me who decides what and when to teach, it's a child, and I'm not anymore in the center of teaching. So that's a child. Well, I think that's the most important thing we need to remember.
Outstanding, right?
Yeah, well, a teacher has, the special role in the classroom, and on my online courses, I talk about it a lot, and also, well, if you follow my page, Instagram page, which is Montessori Station, I post always the problem that we may face up as teachers and English teachers, and about teachers' role, that we need to behave in a certain way. We need to know, psychological characteristics of our students, of each of them, which is really important if you want to build up a good Montessori atmosphere in the classroom.
Of course. Svetlana, we have the question from our guest, from the audience. How old are your youngest learners?
Well, they are 3 years old. So Montessori teaching is divided into planes of development, which Montessori created. There are 4 main planes of development. So the first is from birth to 6, then from 6 to 12, from 12 to 18, and from 18 to 24. So it's a myth if you think that Montessori method could be applied only for 3 years old children, or only for until 6, because I met, people who say, what, you are teaching to 12 years old? It's not possible. Montessori is only until 6. No, it's not true. So we may apply it for young learners as well.
I see. And also there was the question, do you have English language environment there? Any books, videos, anything?
Okay, absolutely. And here I need to talk maybe more about the environment because, you know, the environment in Montessori is special. It is divided into 5 main parts. So there would be shelves or stands for practical life activities, sensorial life activities, math, language, and culture, cultural, well, how do you think, well, I will ask my audience, how do you think what activities could be, you know, in a practical life stand displayed?
Yeah, but what could they
Do
do
you have any,
practically? Yeah, guys, if
yeah,
you could share
practical
it in the
life
comments.
activities? Do you have any ideas, dear listeners?
Any guesses? And
Or sensorial, yeah.
sure. I just had a question in my mind. So you said that the activities are divided into four types? Five.
Well,
I'm sorry, five. And Svetlana, how do you find the balance? So you say that the students decide what they want to do today, yeah? And if they want, for example, to do only practical activities in a row, can you suggest them that let's do something different? Or
well,
how is it in practice?
okay, well, I see. You know, honestly speaking, if you follow Montessori classic way, normally you need to keep in mind that it is a child who shows you, and you need to, he's your guide. Well, but in practice, actually, we sometimes have to remind kindly children that, well, you have learned a lot from this shelf probably today. It would be better if you go and see some activities from other shelf. But actually, I will give you a hint here. It's nice to give in Montessori environment, to give a choice to a child. So normally, if you are a good Montessori teacher, you would say, Olga, could you please tell me when are you going to take material from that shelf? You decide. Okay, so and in this case, the child understands that I'm not going to push him. I'm suggesting, and it's him or her who decides when the activity would be done.
Exactly, it's brilliant.
Never teacher. Well, and going back to different kind of zones and parts of curriculum. So practical life activities would be cleaning, dusting, sweeping, mopping, and, well, all other activities that we use in everyday life. Sensorial would be those that refine the senses, right? So tactile, auditory, and so on. So, well, think if you are a Montessori teacher, you need to think what activities you may implement all together, because in a Montessori environment, everything is interconnected, and everything is dependent. Okay, why actually do we need to teach children practical and sensorial activities? Because as Montessori said, hand is connected. Well, it's not only Montessori, right? But in her books, she says that hand is connected to mind, to the brain, and it would help children later to develop their writing skills easily. So that's why when I say that everything is interconnected, I mean this. And well, trying to find also balance, you know, answering, going back to your question, I would say that you need also to think what topic of the lesson would be. So well, everyone now is coming back to school, and teachers, we do need to teach school supplies. And I was thinking, you know, and what I actually did last week with my kids, I taught them school supplies with the help of Montessori method. And, well, probably you are going to ask me how.
Of course, I'm waiting.
we use always material. Okay, when I say material, it can be 3-part cards, which we call flashcards, but the structure is different and the way we present it's different also. Well, we use 3-part cards, plus we try to implement also different subjects. So for example, school supplies, I was thinking about pencil. So you could implement here history and talk about how pencil was created, where, when, why. You could talk about, well, you could teach them language, I mean, as a structure, right, as a concept, superlative and comparative forms. Well, this pencil is longer, this shorter, and so on. So we use this idea. Or I could talk also about artist who uses pencil, only pencil in his work. Like, for example, Calvin Okafor. He's quite famous in this area. Bring his works and discuss them on my lesson and evoke what feelings children have when they see it. So, well, you see, it's so global, and it's so really interesting even for me, because before I didn't have an idea how the pencil was created and so on. But when you prepare your lesson, you started, well, getting very interested.
Exactly. You must be creative. You must be you must have open mind, right? And you must improvise. This is so interesting because that there is no strict plan, and exactly, it's just fantastic. Svetlana, I would like to tell our audience that we agreed with you that if our listeners will stay till the end of the interview, Svetlana will announce a secret password which you guys can text Svetlana at her profile Montessori station, and she will give you the activities. Right, Svetlana?
Absolutely.
Examples of activities. So Svetlana will share with you the priceless material. So guys, still till the end.
So you can use it tomorrow.
Exactly. Svetlana, I saw some questions. Let me please scroll back. Any authentic materials? Tamara is asking.
Well, yeah, we do. But the thing is that in Montessori classroom, we use literature. Well, like dictionaries, like atlas, like, well, something connected to history, geography, and that would be authentic. So something that can help children to develop their reading skills, of course, and they are willing to dive into topic and discover new things, because for the 6 to 12, right, classroom, the basis is to give children project work to do. It's an age when they socialize, when they develop abstract mind, and when we, with the help of 5 great stories, will launch, a big idea of how the world was created, how the space was created, what's the human's position here. So, well, let's say Montessori called it cosmic education. So that's an idea that helps children to develop an awareness that everything is connected in the world, that the child is also a part of the world, and he may influence on the world as well. Well, yeah. That's why, well, it's quite interesting philosophy, which probably, well, after my interview, teachers are going to use step by step. And, well, if you have any questions, you may always text me and write, because in my online program, I tell and, well, explain how to do it, how to build environment in your classroom Montessori environment, well, step by step.
Actually, we had the question here, and my next question would be about your online school. I would like to ask you, how do you train the teachers, actually? And here, exactly from our audience, we had the question, what would you advise to start with if a teacher wants to implement this method step by step?
Okay, well, my course consists of 3 parts. The first part is getting acquainted with Montessori method. Second is called Help Me to Do It by Myself. And the third part is Help Me to Guess by myself. So as you can see, the first one will talk about main Montessori principles, sensitive periods children have, and how we can build bilingual Montessori environment or English.
Okay.
Well, the second one is for parents, for English teachers, and well, for teachers, Montessori teachers as well, who are interested in implement these methods for the kids, for very young learners. Well, there I speak about how to use this method in developing writing skills first, and then reading skills, then how to develop their oral skills, well, and provide what is very important, provide with all necessary material. So the teacher or the parent has only to print out, laminate, and use it. So nothing more. In the third unit, well, part, I talk about cosmic education a lot, about psychological characteristics of children, because it's important to know when you enter and when you try to figure out how to deal with the kids at this age. And I give also all material in different subjects as history, botany, biology, so to prove that all topics can be connected together. And that is the way how we teach.
I see. And what about step by step for a teacher who, let's say, wants tomorrow already implement something, but she cannot go for take a course tomorrow, but already wants to take little steps?
Okay, well, so first of all, you need to see how long you are going to have your lesson, okay? Because in Montessori environment, it is 3-hour lesson. Always. So that's a principle, one of the principles of Montessori method, that it is 3-hour lesson and it is never interrupted. So during the 3 hours, you might work with geography, let's say, with language and so on. Let's go back to our topic, or maybe I can propose you another one. For example, what if you need to teach tomorrow drinking tea? So the topic is drinking tea. So the first idea that comes to your mind, what are you going to teach now?
If I'm going to teach how to drink tea tomorrow, so I will have a cup of tea. And
okay,
probably
great.
I will show it, like demonstration, right?
Oh, absolutely. And that would be practical life activity, right? You are going to use tea, your teapot, cup, and so on. So here you teach them vocabulary already.
Yeah.
Right? Then, well, the first idea is to think, well, are they children really interested into it or not? Well, and then if you think they would be interested, of course, you might bring tea, and you might connect it with geography, where the tea comes from, how it grows, what countries export tea, or why it is, well, why the tradition exists in the world, in China, in Britain, right? So when you have this plan in your mind, right, then you need to think what the child is going to be really interested in. And my step-by-step solution is to know your children and their real interest. If someone is interested in drinking tea, let him prepare tea, okay? If someone is interested into geography, let him explore this topic and give him time to provide him with a special, well, literature, with books, right, about tea. Let him work on this subject. If someone is interested in, let's say, what country is more developing, exploring, in exporting China or India or any others, let him do that project work, maybe at home well, but of course you need to guide the children. You need to help them finding material. You know, we had nice experience last year when the children were doing project work about space, and we had to call to one of our director's friends to ask how she works with NASA, okay? And we asked her questions, you know, how it is really structured, the organization, how it happened that, well, they sent space shuttles into space. So children were really excited. And can you imagine the process of the work they were doing? They needed to find her phone number. They needed to call her and prepare their questions. So of course, in English. They had to talk with her. I was next to them. I helped them, okay? But they were doing it by themselves.
Wow.
It was their idea. So I was just supporting and guiding, and that's it. And always standing aside, but never pushing them or putting my nose, you know, and correcting and pointing on their mistakes. Well, so, and it was really a great work. The one that, well, I loved a lot.
I can imagine how impressed they were, how excited they were, and they still will talk about it for several years going forward, I think.
You were a colleague to that colleague? Wow!
Yeah.
So it was nice, yeah.
Thank you so much, Svetlana. And what about working with parents? How do they actually find you? And do you have the parents who like not coming from the school where you actually work, right? And how do you introduce the method? Are they already convinced that this is the good one they want to follow, or are they just curious?
That's a good question. That's a good question because, you know, well, the politics here in Montessori schools is that they provide bilingual opportunity, right, to teach both languages, French and English. And the thing is that some of the parents come to school only because there is always 3 hours of English every day. Oh, so that's great, right, for a child. And others come because they know what Montessori is. So, and there is always, well, there are always problems, I mean, with parents, because some come just only to have English lessons and they don't care about Montessori idea, you know, and they start saying, how can you teach our children without textbooks and notebooks? So they can't believe that it is possible. And there are some others who say, wow, that's the only school I want to put my son or daughter in. I wish I could do it before, or I wish I had opportunity to do it for myself, you know. So it can be different.
So they actually come with a different attitude, but then it may change, right?
Absolutely, it changes. And well, I need to tell that sometimes there are some coming to school with problems, well, children, because they are not accepted in public schools because well, it's too dull for them to sit and do what everyone does when he finished his work. So in Montessori classroom, we pay attention to the pace of learning, to child's interest, to his concentration abilities, okay, to the time child can stay focused. That's very important for us because these characteristics would be in the base of our teaching method.
Oh, of course. And what about when you're working with parents, do you give them some activities that they can use like after school with their children on their own?
Some parents demand, but well, we normally do not do that. Yeah, we don't do that. Yeah, we
Okay.
don't give because, well, for Montessori, it is important, and Montessori said that children, well, by the way, you recalled me one situation from my experience. Once I met a student who had to leave our school, and he, well, had to go to public school because of financial problems in the family, and he was, well, unhappy. So what happened? And he says, well, I have to do homework. I said, well, I can see homework. Yeah, you do it. Well, I don't say that homework probably, we can't refuse, right? The fact that the homework is needed. But in Montessori classroom, we sometimes, well, we don't give actually homework, because Montessori's idea was that during the 3-hour cycle, the child has enough time to work. So he works at school. He doesn't work at home. At home, he spends time with his parents and not with books and textbooks. So some parents do ask homework. And in this case, well, here you have to decide, it's up to you. I mean, as a teacher, you see if the child really needs to work at home or not, or he may deal without it.
Right. We have a comment that the teacher must be so high, must have so high erudition, like to be incredibly intelligent. I see.
Absolutely. Yes, I totally agree with it. It's true, because that's why, it is said that Montessori, you can't become just in one click Montessori teacher. You need to have good qualification, and well, thanks to my courses, because they helped me a lot, and now I can help other teachers with my course.
Just coming up with this question, I have like on the go immediate question. Have you ever had a situation when your child like surprises you with some incredible knowledge, or ask you a question which you don't know the answer?
Oh, well, always. They surprise me always, because, well, they work a lot. I can't read all the books, and okay, well, it's normal. But if they ask me the question, and I don't know the answer, a good way is to say, okay, I give you a chance to have a look and tell me tomorrow. So it's him who needs to find out the situation, well, the answer, not me. Remember, I'm just guiding him. I can show the book he may use, but I don't give him answer.
You're not an encyclopedia, right? So I help you to find out the answer.
Yeah.
I see. Svetlana, we have the question from the audience. Do you differentiate the tasks you prepare?
Of course, I do. And we use individual approach to, well, each child. Absolutely. I may prepare, let's say, 1 hour task, right, for let's say 5 groups, if we are talking about young learners, and it may take the preparation, okay? It may take, I don't know, 4 hours of preparation, because I need to think about one group here, the second group there. All ages are mixed, so it is based on their levels, the classroom, not on ages. So, well, of course I do.
Thank you. Svetlana, I have such a question. Have you ever had any children who are coming to Montessori school after the traditional one?
Yeah, we do. We have a lot. And what is important to notice here, that as I said before, some kids who have, problems with attention change in 1 year a lot. So the parents are surprised to see their kids singing, or to see their kids delivering speech in front of audience when he is talking about his project work, or children, for example, who had troubles with behavior or friends before at school, and now here they can feel like in the middle of a circle. They have chance to talk. They have chance to be listened and heard. That's what's important, because in Montessori traditional school we have organized circles with, where we discuss the problems that children may face up, and they are free to talk about different subjects.
Mm-hmm. I see. Thank you so much, Svetlana. I'm looking at the comments as well. So there is the question: will it be recorded? Yes, guys, it will be recorded. It will be saved in our account, so don't worry. And those tips are like a treasure for
Thank
very
you.
young learners, teachers. Thank you so much. Actually, you know, Svetlana, I recalled when I was a teacher in a public school back in time. I entered a class and it was the 5th grade, so kind of 10, 11 years old kids. And they just came from the primary school, so it was like the very first days. And there was a girl, and you know, she was, well, I cannot say that she was smarter or more intelligent. No, that would be incorrect if I say so. But she was some kind bright. You know, I mean, bright, not intelligent, but bright by color. If we could see the aura of her body, I thought she would be so colorful. And then in a little bit of time, like in some weeks, I discovered that she was in primary school in Montessori school. And I was impressed because, you know, the way how she acted, the overall attitude, it was so different from other kids. I'm not saying that it was somehow bad or other kids were worse. No, but it was
We
just...
never judge kids,
No,
right?
no, no. But it was different, you know, how she was engaged. She was so curious. She was like opening her eyes so big and listening to each and every word you're saying. And whatever the homework we would give, because that was the traditional school, right? She would always do more. She would bring some, as you say, exactly as you say, some projects, you know.
Yeah.
I just give, let's say into words like an exercise, and she does more. She brought a lot of interest even to the peers, you know, to other kids. Yes,
Great.
I had such experience in my life, and
You
truly,
can always see Montessori kids.
yes.
Yeah, it's true. And for me, sometimes it is sad because the cost of school is so high that not every parent can put his child there, right? So the price, I mean, of school. So that's why I think it is important. And the Montessori's idea wasn't to make business on it. It was for poor children from poor families. So I'm trying to do with my course it more accessible for people from different having different financial situation.
Right.
Well, it is expensive. I can see the question why it's more expensive, because the material costs a lot. So you can't order material from China or some other countries where it doesn't have good quality. So it has really poor quality, and they do not respect, you know, one of the principles of Montessori, which is control of error. All Montessori material has a control of error. So it's important because it refers to self-correction. So a child doesn't need to call you and ask you if it's correct or not. He doesn't need your correction or approval. He does it by himself. And yes, absolutely, I do respect this principle when I create my own material. And on my online course, I talk and made one special lesson about it, how to implement this principle in teaching English.
Right. Svetlana, so just to clarify to our audience, can parents, such parents whose children do not go to Montessori school but go to traditional school, can they come to you and ask for help, ask for guidelines?
Of course they can. The question is how much they are ready to implement, to invest their time, you know, into their child's development? That's a big question, because the work that I do for my child, for my son, and the work that I do for children at school is tremendous. And of course, it's possible. You can't do everything, but every evening you can prepare one activity and you can do it little by little, step by step. And in a while, you can see the result.
Right. You know, Svetlana, I recalled I had a question also in my mind. What is the maximum minimum size of the number of children of your class?
Well, it's 24, 25 children. And
Okay.
we don't, well, some schools provide assistant for English teachers. We do not. So I'm the only one who teaches them. And I'm with 24 kids alone in the classroom. So providing them with ideas how to work and with the material, of course.
Yes, the main thing, parents are not always ready to be 100% dedicated because of lots of additional factors.
Yeah.
Of course, but
of course,
at least they have the perfect possibility to contact Svetlana and ask for help, for at least the guidelines to understand whether they're gonna proceed or not, and if they are going to, so Svetlana can help them.
Of
right?
course, yeah, you can write, because I provide also as offer free consultation, so you can write and I will contact you and we can meet and discuss what's the problem.
You're so generous. Oh my goodness, guys, catch your opportunity.
Thank you.
All right, Svetlana, and maybe it will be fair to say to our colleagues, at least me, to ask you. So we are talking about a lot of positive sides, right, which are obvious, but is there something what you struggle with, like a little bit of disadvantage, you know, that you as a teacher, you say, I like this of these?
Well, I would say, you know, the main disadvantage which I face up is the misunderstanding of concept freedom in the classroom. It's really hard for kids to understand that the freedom is limited.
Okay.
They can't do everything in the classroom, and you have to explain it day after day, you know, that freedom is limited, that you can't do whatever you want, that you have to behave in a certain way with your peers, you have to respect material, your teachers, you know. That's the main, well,
challenge.
It's not even, that's a good word. It's not a disadvantage. It's the thing that you need to work always with it, you know. You build the environment. There are already well brought up Montessori kids, and then comes another student who doesn't know anything about Montessori, so he doesn't know how to behave, how to use material, the structure. He's shocked because he doesn't have textbook. He was attached to always, you know.
So, sit down and open a book, right?
Of course. Plus, the first thing that surprises children, that they learn in movement. What? I can go to the toilet without asking? Or I can use that pen without asking you? Oh, okay, so for first months probably we need to explain it. Well, September we spend on explaining children the rules, the principles, how it is, well, how it works actually in the classroom.
I see. Svetlana, I'm sorry for so many questions, but it is so interesting, you know.
Yeah, go on.
What about during the lockdown? I just realized that there was the lockdown. How did you manage during this time?
There was, and well, so we had to choose, either we stop and close the school, or we continue with online. And I need to tell that parents were satisfied with the level and quality of education that we continued, during the lockdown. Well, if I open, the doors, this wardrobe is full of material.
Oh my
Okay,
God.
so that's a material which I had to use. Normally, I bring to classroom, but here I had to use it. So I filmed how I'm using material, then I sent PDF, and then parents printed, and the child was using the material the same way how I did on video.
Okay.
So well, if you want, I can precise. I mean, for example, teaching grammar, the concept singular plural noun. So we have cards. We always prepare and provide children with material which he can manipulate.
Okay.
So if it's in the classroom, it's printed. At home, if you do provide online lessons, so you can provide children with material. He may print out, and during your lesson, you may
use it.
Use it.
Use it. Okay. We have someone is asking, can you show us?
Well, I can. Do you really want it?
Yes, please. Master class.
Look. Well, it's not probably all Montessori thing, but
yeah, there is another request. Can we see something from this wardrobe? Yes, guys, Svetlana is showing already.
There is nothing more than material. So, well, this material I haven't cut, but that's what I'm going to use tomorrow. So that are the cards, 3-part cards that I said I'm using with kids, and the topic will be apples and everything about apples. So here they are. I would teach tomorrow very young learners.
Oh.
Yeah, so teaching them numbers and so on. Well, here teaching them sounds. They need to find the words, like for example,
Amazing.
Yeah, and put it here. So
wow. Thank you so much.
That's how we worked online. I mean, during the lockdown, we managed.
Brilliant. Genius.
Thank
Svetlana,
you.
the last question from my side. Practically, during the online lesson, if the kid or kids losing attention, how to bring them back?
Well,
what do you do?
I had done online individual lessons during the lockdown, because we realized that it's going to be very difficult to have a group conversation with everyone in group lessons. So it was individual, and I had to give during the lockdown 1 lesson to 20 students. By the end of the day, I was exhausted.
I can imagine.
Yeah, but no, it's not true, because I was choosing different material I could use with different child, but the topic was one and the idea was one, you see.
I see. Yeah, but if they lose attention?
Well, if they lose attention, we decide when we explain, either you continue or we stop the lesson, so child may be interested with something else. And for me, it would be, as a teacher, a sign that for the next time I need to prepare something more interesting, more adapted maybe for his level or for his pace, interest, and so on.
I see. How long, there is a question, how long is the lesson probably, yeah? How long does it last?
How long was online lesson? Okay, online lesson for 3 to 6 was, for very young learners, was 20 minutes, 20, 30 minutes. And for 6 to 12, it was 40, 45.
Okay. Pretty fair. 20 minutes is probably the most of the attention of the children. Wow, Svetlana, I believe our audience is overwhelmed. Me, for sure, because it's just priceless knowledge, you know, because whatever you can read about the Montessori method, and then you just talk to the person who actually applies it, and it's just priceless, and it's excellent. Thank you so much for sharing all of these brilliant ideas with us. Svetlana, could you please remind me, in the very beginning, did I mention the very special announcement?
About secret
That
password.
you're the representative of SR Teaching and Learning in France. I'm so sorry. Guys, but look, everyone stay till the end because you promised the secret word. So guys, my apologies. I officially announce to you that Svetlana is our official representative in France of SR Teaching and Learning. So thank you so much for joining our big team. We are growing. Thank you,
really
Svetlana.
excited and thrilled.
So now, guys, your gift from Svetlana, the secret word.
So the secret word is Montessori English. Please write. And I will provide you with material I was talking about. It would be, well, it would be a surprise for you.
Okay, but it would be something practical, some practical activities.
Of course, yeah, practical activities that you may print and use tomorrow.
Svetlana, I will write to you. I know the secret password.
Go ahead.
So guys, please write to Svetlana Montessori Station. But in the description box, I will provide the name of her account, so it will be very easy to find. Svetlana, thank you.
Thanks to you
so much. Yeah. Of course, we wish you many more inspirations and all the best luck. A lot of energy, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
And great success. And only thankful public, thankful parents.
Thanks for your attention, for your questions, for staying with us until the end.
Yes.
Now you know what I have in my cup, well, wardrobe behind me.
Yes, actually, our audience was very active with the questions, so you see it's like a hot topic. I think everyone enjoyed. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. So Svetlana, thank you. I wish you a wonderful evening. Looking forward to your webinar.
Oh, good idea. Yeah.
Something to consider. Look at this. Okay, so guys, thank you so much for being with us. Don't forget about the special secret word to get your present. Thank you, Svetlana.
Thank you, Olga.
Bye-bye.
Have a good evening, everyone. And good weekend. Today's Friday.
Yes, good weekend ahead.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.